Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So for today's video, to follow along, you're gonna need a foam roller. And we're gonna put today's focus on recovery for the calf. The thing to remember is we don't need these hour-long plus heroic recovery mobility sessions to develop flexibility and range of motion. We just need to be consistent. So through these 10-minute videos, my goal is to help y'all just be consistent as we make progress. So let's go ahead and start. We're gonna take the foam roller and we're just gonna put the inside of it on that calf, and we're just gonna sit back on it. So you're kind of on your knees, but we want a lot of this foam roller sticking out the side for this variation here. There's a lot of different ways we can smash the calf. You can go all the way up into the knee, you can go all the way back down, but we're just gonna find a spot where when you lean back on it, kind of feels a little nasty. So good news here too is we hit almost a twofer here. We're gonna get a little bit into that hamstring also, and depending on how tight your hamstrings are, you might get a lot of it into that hamstring. We're just gonna spend a couple minutes on each side just smashing the calves here. So like we always do, we like to find a spot that needs a little work. How do we know if it needs a little work? When we apply pressure to it, like sitting back down on it, it kind of hurts a little bit. And it's not wrong hurt, it's just like, ooh, those tissues just aren't quite moving. And remember, if we've got healthy tissue sitting there, a little bit of pressure shouldn't cause any discomfort. So the reason we want to have some of this sticking out, and we can kind of start moving into this phase now, is you can push down on the roller. Maybe that's changing some of y'all's faces out there like mine. And you can pull up on the roller. Ooh, that shut me up pretty fast. And we can use kind of that pressure on that opposite hand to get those tissues moving around. So remember, if we hit a spot that's just real nasty, we want to just sit there and breathe into it. We're just going to kind of push and pull. Man, for me today, pulling up on this side is really getting in there. So I'm just trying to relax as much as possible. We're already coming up on our 2-minute mark, which seemed to happen fast over on this side. I think that means probably I need a little more attention to that side. Let's go ahead and go to the other side. Same thing. We're just going to put some of that roller sticking out, sit back on it. We'll just start kind of relaxing in here. So whenever I am doing this on my own and I do feel like that side needs a little more attention, I would spend more than 2 minutes there, and I would just kind of hang out there for as long as, possibly 5-6 minutes on that side. So just for the sake of this video, I'm moving on to the other side, and we'll kind of just be wiggling around. Same thing, we're gonna go and try and accumulate about 2 minutes here. Trying to relax, moving that foam roller around. You can pull up on it, you can push down on it, trying to get the tissues in the calf, but in this variation, it's also gonna get that hamstring, which is a nice bonus. Just trying to get those tissues to work. You can even kind of move it clockwise and counterclockwise. And we just want you to be as relaxed as possible. So we don't want you protecting, just sinking into it, letting your body weight just sink down, breathing through your belly. We're trying to get your brain to understand that when these tissues are moving around, it doesn't need to protect us. It's okay for these tissues to move around, trying to desensitize the area, just trying to get the tissues moving. See, we got about 30 more seconds here. Same thing on this side. When I'm pulling up on the edge of that roller, it's really making me stop and think, and that's really where I got to put focus on my breathing, making sure I'm staying relaxed and I don't flex and protect against it. All right, about 5 more seconds here. Then we're going to move into some stretching. So we'll go ahead and come back up, go to whatever side you started on. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to put the roller there, and you're going to stick your foot up on top of it. Be careful so it doesn't roll on you. And we're just going to kind of lean into it. So this is almost looks like that classic calf stretch. And as I'm doing this, I'm putting kind of that full focus in. So I'm trying to flex that butt cheek. So I don't want to be stuck bent doing these weird things. I want to get into that calf. So I'm trying to stand tall through that leg, squeezing my butt cheek, flexing my quads, standing tall. If you can balance and work it, you can move that opposite foot further and further up. We'll go about 45 more seconds here, so you got plenty of time to kind of settle in. You can flex real hard and then relax, and when you relax, try and kind of get into it a little deeper. You can flex hard. When I'm flexing, I'm like shoving my knee back, almost flexing the quad and the butt, and then I relax. I just try and get a little deeper, but I'm slowly able to move this foot further and further, and I would be trying to move it further and almost step across over there. We've got 15 more seconds, almost fell down, so be careful. I don't have anything to grab onto. You can for sure do this grabbing onto something. Just focusing in on getting tight. We've got 5 more seconds, so we're going to go to the other side. All right. So switch over to the other side. Same thing. Just going to start really just anywhere. Start with the focus on being able to get upright in that body position, because it doesn't matter how far you walk that foot around if all of this other stuff is broken down. And then just kind of slowly you can start stepping into it a little bit more. And you might be able to see I'm starting to like bend into it a little more. So instead of prioritizing, again, moving that foot, I'm trying to squeeze that butt cheek, push the hip forward as I come up. And when I get kind of sticky, I'm going to flex real hard. Big breath in and then relax. See if I can get a little deeper into it. Shove that hip forward. What am I flexing? It doesn't really matter, but leg pushing against that position is really what I'm thinking. We've got about 30 more seconds. Beginning to feel it loosen up a little bit, and every time I feel like I have an opportunity, I'm taking a little step further, and that inevitably kind of puts me bending over a little bit more, so I can do another flex, try and stand up tall, flexing, and then kind of relax the area and see if I can keep pushing that hip forward. We got 10 more seconds. Same thing. Even though we're going in those moments of flexing, we really want to focus on those relaxed moments. Okay, so now we're going to move over into kind of balancing. So let's start on that original foot. Okay, for me it was that left foot. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to pick that right foot up in the air here. Okay, and then I'm going to move that foot behind me. And what I'm trying to do is just keep my ankle stacked. And I'm trying to keep my foot as close to the ground as I can, as I kind of push it as far back as I can. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to go forward. Keep my foot as close to the ground as I can. And I'm just trying to make that ankle, I'm just going to go back and forth here, just trying to make that ankle stay right on top, making my foot, but really making that calf work. Okay, and then we'll just go to the other side. So just playing around in that balance position. We'll start just by standing up. You can lean forward and lean back to make sure you're feeling the full foot. You can start by shoving that foot back, and you can go as deep into these things as you want. So if you've got the range of motion and you're nice and warmed up, you can go really deep into these things. But the key is we're really focusing on what is going on at that foot, just making ourselves battle and stay stable. All right, have about 10 more seconds. Really just spending some time, making yourself balanced, challenging the position, focusing on keeping the full foot on the ground here. All right, so now we're just going to move in. Shake it out a little bit. Now we're just going to move in just to some bounding. So as I'm doing this, you can kind of see my feet. I'm up on the ball of my foot landing, and I'm letting my heels just kiss the ground, just like I would be jump roping. And I'm just going to get a little higher and a little higher. Okay, then let's just go right foot only. And we're just going to hop up and down. Okay, we'll go left foot, hop up and down. Okay, we'll go back to 2 feet, but this time we're going to go slower. We've only got 15 more seconds of this. Hopping up and down. So we're just trying to make ourselves use that muscle, focusing on trying to keep those ankles nice and stacked, feet flat. Okay, and then we've got 30 more seconds here. We're just going to finish it with a squat. So let's go ahead and get feet straight, nice and tight. What I want you to do is as you're going down, just put full attention. Don't let your weight roll to the toes. Don't let it roll to the heels. We're going to stay nice and flat on our feet the whole way. And you're just going as deep as you can perfectly. And we're just going to do a little bit of a hold here. We don't have that much longer. So just breathing, breathing. We got 10 more seconds. We're done with this session. All right, and that's it. Nice job today, y'all. So, thing to keep in mind is we have a lot more of these videos where we focus on specific body parts. We also have some general, just full body kind of stretching routines. But the moral of the story here is just a few minutes each day, and that consistency is so much more time efficient, but it also, in my opinion, has a much bigger impact on your actual range of motion and on your body than having hour-plus long sessions a few times a week. It's just like, let's hit it short, be real, dedicated to it, hit it consistently, and it'll change everything. Thanks for joining. Talk to y'all soon.